And look who we have here, the filmmaker who made that film, Jeremy Schaefer. Jeremy, thanks so much for joining us and for submitting to the film festival.
Of course. Yeah, thanks for having it and showing it to everyone. It's great to be here.
So I have to tell you, this film was, I don't even understand why it's in our contest. It should be playing with Pixar movies. It's insanely good. I don't even know where to start with questions. I guess one, like, is this your thing? Are you an animation student? Is that when you made this in school? Like, I want to know all the things.
Of course. Yeah. So you're very kind. I appreciate it. But yeah, I just graduated from school. So this was my senior thesis film I made, and I just finished it this past May. But yeah, I finished that at school as my film. And then now I've graduated. I'm an animator at DreamWorks now. So.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, if someone didn't swoop you up, like there's no justice in the world. I just can't. Have you put this film in other festivals? Because I would imagine it's done very well.
It's done all right. Yeah, I've been putting it out there. It's really short. So, I mean, it's only like 2 minutes long. But yeah, it's been doing all right.
The fact that it is only 2 minutes long and you have a fully formed sort of story is unbelievable. I think it's one of the hardest things to do is create these films that are 5 minutes or less. Is there an inspiration behind this film for you?
I guess just I really love, action type movies. I think I started out when I started out doing like art film and all that stuff. I started out in that vein of making really action heavy stuff. I wasn't like drawing, like Disney stuff per se. So I started out in this more action realm. And then when I went to school at Ringling, I really started to study animation. So I think it was a combination of two things that I really love, which are, action films. And then I really got passionate about animation because I think that's what people are responding to is seeing something that's, CG, it's 3D animated. It feels and kind of looks like a Disney movie, but then the tone is totally different. There's violence, there's action. And so, matching up those two things is just two things that I like. And I think that's where the inspiration mostly comes from.
It's insanely clever. So is there anything you're doing at DreamWorks that you can tell us about? Any secret projects?
Nothing major. I'm not that high up, so I don't have a big scoop. But I'm working on their upcoming film, Boss Baby 2. So it's really cool to be a part of a bigger project and get that experience of working on a giant film, especially with animators that have years and years of experience. I mean, going back to like Prince of Egypt, these animated movies that, I grew up watching. So it's really humbling to be there in that environment and just work with, super talented people.
So when now you're in DreamWorks, so your time is probably pretty taken over by their needs, but do you have any projects that you're still trying to do on your own?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, there's lots of stuff going on. There is where I'm not sure what I should talk about, but I am working on other stuff. Even the short film, got a lot of attention online, and I'm thankful for that. And so there might be stuff coming up with that as well, being developed more. So I'm excited.
I think that's great because I think it's going to set such a tone for who you are. It really makes you stand out from the crowd. Right. And I can imagine you getting feature live action work based on your work on that, because just the shot choices you make, and I don't know anything about animation, but I can see there's specific shot choices you're doing and story elements you're doing that you have to know how to edit and shoot and light and all that to do that kind of film. So
yeah, I appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, that goes back to how I got started. I got started with my brother doing live action stuff even before animation. So I'm coming in from that perspective rather than drawing.
That's interesting.
So yeah, I love live action stuff too. A lot of my favorite films are live action. Don't tell anybody at DreamWorks, but yeah, I love both. Both mediums are great, live action and animation. So I'm excited to see what happens.